Hi, Alvin. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to put together a lovely winter casserole. Stick about and I'll show you how. So my casserole dish is this fella here. I find that just the right size for me. I like that one. So my basic meat is here, some blade steak, only $8.94. That's cheap really. How much was that a kg? $21.49 a kg. Not too bad. I found this other stuff here that I had. I'm going to utilise that as well. I like a little bit of silver beet in, that goes in towards the end. I always poke a carrot in there to give it a bit of colour and a bit of texture. I like a nice fresh onion. This one's firm like a cricket ball. He's going in. I like a bit of mushroom through them too, so that goes in as well. Oxo cubes just to give it a little bit of flavour there. And look, this is the piece de resistance here. That is a kidney. That goes in as well. Now, I also put these here. I don't know which one of these go here, but sometimes I find something there. Just put that in, and that just gives it that final little bit of effusion right through the brew. So let's get underway with this steak here. This is a nice piece. I don't like that bit on there, you see, and I don't want any fat on there, so Linda's cat can have that. I just nick this off here. That knife's not up to much either. Look at that. We need to give that a sharpen up. Yeah, we'll jettison that one, and we'll just go for this one here. I'd like to take that skin off there. Oh, this one's not much better. Look at that. You could ride to London on it. Anyway, I don't like too big of cubes, so I get into it in small strips like so. That's that piece, that piece, that piece, and I like to have them that size really. This is a bit of fillet steak. That's always good in there. Look how easy that one cuts with this blunt knife. Tender ass. See, that cuts a lot easier than that blade steak there, because that's one of the prime cuts. But that prime business means that you get the best flavour in the end too. So my secret weapon is to just brown this steak just a touch, and I like to do it in butter. So just have a little bit of butter in there, like so. Now it's this little bit of kidney here. This is an important part here for me. You're coming through here, and you head down through here. God almighty, that's tight. And this is here, if we were to dissect it, these are the uriniferous tubules here that filters the urine out of the sheep and out into the blood. We really want some of that in there. That was tough. It was frozen in the centre still. So I just nick this up into small pieces. And if I turn the camera over, you can see the butter's nearly ready to go. Yes, that's ready to go. It's just a little bit hot. I'll turn it down a bit, otherwise I'll have fat splattered up the wall. And here I come. What I'm after here is just a little bit of browning all round. Tickle it all out like so. And make sure that kidney stuff there gets a bit of a zing on. Just while that meat is underway there, I give these a wing up. I just take the outer skin off these, and that's called peeling the carrots. So we do that. Mindful not to take the skin off your own fingers there as you do it. This one here, look at that, comes off so easy with a good peeler. And you try not to leave strips on there like that. then you don't have to go around again. It doesn't need much here, but just a little bit of browning. I like to get rid of that red stuff, especially those kidneys. I suppose you do the same. Sometimes I turn it around like that to get me lumps. About that size is the size that I like. That way you retain the taste and the size doesn't choke you. I put a little bit too much, I put a little bit too much fat in there, so I'm going to just take that sting out of that a bit and see if I can get it to brown. Come back with me over here. And that'll come back up to the brown now, just a little bit. So these Mochis here, look, they're clean enough. They're not too dirty. I just look around in case there's any extraneous matter on there, but there's none on these, so I just whip them off like so through here, like so. Coming through like that. Turn the whole tray round. And just do the same thing again here. Now they've got them into cubes like that. This is that's ready to go effectively. This is where I like to sprinkle a little bit of parsley just over the mushrooms like that. And you'd wonder why that is, but that's my special part of my recipe there to do that. So this is about as far as I want to go with this, otherwise it toughens up, you see, and I don't want that. So that now gets transferred to the crock pot. So in she goes here. I'll leave that little bit of butter in there. So that's my basics there. And I just check those kidneys and look, they're not too bad. I don't like them when they're a bit red going into a stew. A few carrots now. Hello. The Mochis go in. Look at that. So the onion is one of the parts we've got to get in there. One half, two halves. And what I like to do is just whoop it up into little cubes like so, aiming to the middle each time. Easy as. That didn't work. Nobody will know. But that's the onions for the stew. Perfect. So the next thing I like to put in is the silver beet. Of course you dock that bit off there, but I do like this part here. I just like to give it a wee rinse in case there's a snail up the back of it here. Chase them out. Because snails in, whoops, there's a bit of something we don't want. Snails in stews are not real good. So I like this white stuff in there, that's good. And again, I do it in bigger chunks so it doesn't go away to a mush in the brew, you see. So that's my preferred size there, just that pile there. Now that's just more to give it green and texture. So in goes the silver beet, like so. That's looking good so far. Of course I have to develop a stock for this now, and I'm going to use the OXO cube there just to give it a bit more grunt as such. So you might wonder why I'm a bit interested in this. Once when I was back in England there, my wife got a job as an agency nurse, and next thing I knew she was going to France to look after somebody. So here I am in London, not really able to cater and look after myself. So I went off to a night class. Well, I went off and I met all these people teaching me how to do all this cooking, and look at the size of me now. I'm just wonderfully trimmed and able to look after myself in the kitchen. Isn't that marvellous? So I just want to put an OXO cube in there, not too much, but that's just beautiful there, just to give it a little bit extra flavour. So in the jar it goes here. I'll give it a wee crush up like so. In it goes. About that much. I don't want to give it too much. A bit of a stir with my favourite cooking knife. I think that, along with the butter and the meat and the vegetable and the fluids in the thing there, will be adequate. How am I going to get that off my fingers? It reminds me of Lockie. Now, I think I just need a touch more because that's a bigger pot than I thought. And now we're putting in 2 cups of stock in there, plus the little bit of fluid in there. I don't like to overdo it. So in it goes, like so, over there. And I don't know whether that'll be enough. Let's check the depth here. Yeah, I think it'll be pretty close. So, a bit of sea salt is a good thing to put in here, but unfortunately my battery's flat, so I'm going to have to resort to Grandma's way of doing it. That's probably not enough, but you can always put a bit more salt in if you want it. But anyway, I like a little bit of pepper. These are mixed peppers here, and they just go nicely through there. Uh-oh, I've left the cap on, but it won't matter. They will dissipate right through there. I press that down through there like that. So that, along with the OXO cube, will give it a lovely flavour. Look at that. I do love me pepper. I think that is nearly ready to go in the oven. So it's important to put the oven on if you're going to do a casserole. So I'll put it on to bake here, and I'm going to whip around to 200. Well, that's going to be nice. We just check the oven here, that the cat's not resting in there, because we do not want the cat in the oven. So it's lid on now, and over to the oven. Putting it central, not too high, not too low, about right in the centre, and that should do the job nicely. Now our timer there, we put that on for approximately 1 hour 30 minutes, and then we'll check it and see how she's going. So 1 hour and 25 minutes is gone now. I want to test this oven and see how she's looking. Because these mitts you can't get a grip, I'm going to have to penetrate her here with the knife, get her airborne and bring her over. Look at that, she's coming right. I can tell that the meat is just a bit on the tough side, but I'll just try a bit and see how it goes. Look at. What I'd like to do now is just put a little bit of gravy into here, because that's my thickening agent that I like. So I take a little bit of the juice out. Might as well put it all in here. Good. I let that cool off a touch. And in here, this is where I've got my gravy. Can you see that there? In she goes. Not much. Not much. And then stir-fry that. Because that's not far away from being ready now. A little bit more. Stir that in. So that's all like that. And in she goes again, you see. Now that's the secret recipe. Oh, look at the onions still in that gravy. That will be magnificent. My other secret recipe is just to throw a few peas in on top of that, some frozen peas. They don't need much cooking and they'll just stay there for a beautiful colour. Essential snap frozen peas. They're generally green in colour, and I don't need many, just a few in there. Whoops. Stir-fry those. I think I've put too many greenies in there, but never mind. Nobody will know. So she's back into the oven, I think only for 20 minutes, and that'll do the job. back in there. We don't really want it. That meat wasn't too bad. It was hot, but not too bad. I just need a bit of spud now. That should be enough there to put these potatoes into. And I've checked them over. There is no extraneous matter on there. What I do for my roasties is put it like that, do it like that, and that one's good, nice and clean. A bit of mank on that side there, so we'll get rid of that. Horizontally, this is my big sister Adrian McLansborough taught me how to do mashed potatoes, and she was never very good at it. But that's about right. I'll just take a bit out of there, just cover it is enough. So I'm back to check my spuds here. Yep, they're ready to go. This is what they call draining the spuds. I like to put just a touch of butter in there, like that. A touch of milk, not much, just a bit. Oh, a bit more. And then, this is the masher. This thing here is a masher. In you go. Look at that. I think I put too much spud in there. Now it's going to be right. It's that skin that gives you a bit of resistance in here. But this is the way my oldest sister Adrian used to cook when we were kids. I tried to tell her that you always take the spuds skin off, but no, she insisted that you give the skins help when you get to the end. And that looks pretty good if you're hungry. Just boiling nicely. Again, this is a hard lid to get off this thing, so you've got to prise her up like that. Oh, she's on the boil. I'll put that over here out the way. Try not to break anything. A gentle stir just to see that things are okay. Look at that meat. Look at that. I think the gravy's perfect. Look. Perfect. Let's give that a wee bit of a chance to settle, otherwise you burn your lip. So with any sort of cooking, presentation is the ultimate. You really got to present nicely. Too hot to do anything with there. So what I'm going to do is use the ladle here and bring the plate to it. I'll just put a small amount on Linda's one here. That should tide her over until Thursday. And I'll just do a small one here. That'll do me nicely. So you can see, it just does not pay to put too much on there. So there you go. That's how you put a winter casserole together. Nothing like it. A beautiful tasting meal.